So the re-up drops in December of 2006, and your
Mhm.
EP follows in May of 2007.
Yeah.
The re-up to me was honestly, it was like an unofficial 50 Cent and Eminem collaboration project. Um,
Mhm.
can you tell me a little bit more about recording the re-up?
The real was just, recorded. I recorded my stuff in LA most of the time. Went to New York, recorded some stuff, and then sent some stuff back from Orange County. You know what I mean? I was just sending music in, and whatever songs they picked, they picked. That's how it went. It was supposed to be a mixtape that turned into an album. So everybody was just sending in their music, and the best songs stayed.
Yeah, the album, it was actually supposed to be a mixtape at first, and this mixtape turned into an album that moved over 320,000 copies in a single week. As
Mhm.
you said, there was a major video on BET and MTV. Did you have any moments in the studio with 50 Cent or G Unit that you could recall?
I've been in the studio with both of them, but everything, and they're different together and at different times also. Like I was with 50 when he was recording, what's that, Come and Go off the Curtis album? The one with Dre when I was at Dre studio. And that shit was dope to see 50 process and film recording and all that shit. That shit was rough. And I done kicked it with, you know, Banks and Yayo and Buck. Like I done kicked it with all of them differently. So, that shit was raw. Like Banks, we just sit there and just chill. You know what I mean? That's when how I smoke. That's what I'm known for. You know what I mean? I smoke big. That's what everybody say when they get around me. Damn, you out smoke everybody, And that's what I do.
So the joint that you did, the Hood County EP, was primarily produced by Eminem, Rick Nadi. Who was excuse me, Eminem was actually the only featured artist on there as well. How closely did the two of you work on the project?
Um, Real close. Like we did a lot of songs and stuff together. Um, and just narrowed those down from there. I had Ron Browse on there. Um, I forgot. I'm forgetting who else, but I know I had Ron Browse on there. And M took like he really like collabed with me big on after the music was done on just the ideas and sequencing it and how it's supposed to go. He was hands on with that project. It was a project he was proud of also.
So at what point was it determined that you were going to do an EP to start off the new year as opposed to just doing an official album?
Um, I had like hundreds of songs, and we needed to get just music out. Um, Off of the success of the re-up and the response of it, people were ready to receive some Cashis material. We just gave them 7 songs on the re-up right there. You know what I mean? I was just on 7 songs. So it only made sense to come through with the EP and get warmed up for the album. A limited edition EP. And that shit did what it was supposed to. They did, it overdid. So that's when we were going into the double CD for Loose Cannon.
Now you said on the album, the solo debut album that was going to be titled Loose Cannon,
Mm-hmm.
you said that it was going to feature production from Dr. Dre. Did you ever get a chance to work with Dre?
Yeah, I did work with Dre in the studio. I worked with them. Um, I have worked in the studio with Dr. Dre. Yeah, I, that was a list of everybody that I wanted to work with, and I had just mad songs with different people, But that idea, it was gonna be. I had a whole idea of what I wanted to do with 2 discs. You know what I mean? It was gonna explain my personality and this side and that side. So one was gonna be all aggressive, and then one was gonna be another way. I had Rick Rock production on the course. I had Rick Nadi, and when them was all over it, it was gonna be crazy. It was a crazy as album. Had like production from Nephew from it, um like worked with Jelly Roll from out west, DJ Khalil, Phonics Beats. It was just like that shit was crazy, man. Um, that project was slap. That was slap right now for sure. Though. Yeah, I said something about it a couple of times. I was working on the double discs. I had so many CDs. You know, if it didn't turn out like that in the end, then it just, you know, because you could put 20-something songs on something back then, but I literally had a ton of music and I wanted to give people, I always been enthralled with that from when Pac did that. You know, Pac my favorite artist anyway. So when I saw that, but I wanted to do it because really I'm like, I move like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm never in the middle. It's either all the way hot or all the way cold. So I was bringing people both sides of me. You know what I mean? One side of me is more of a hustler. You know what I mean? And more of a philosopher, of a motivator. I think big and I think highly of people on one side, and I motivate people to do their best in whatever they're doing. And another side of me is just don't give a fuck. Like for real, don't give a fuck. Like one side of me is a true nurturer, like you know, always around my family, shit like that. That's what I thrive for. That's what keep me sane. But it's another side of me when I'm outside too much that, you know, it it is what it is. I'm a product of my environment for real. Um, so that's what that CD was designed to show people, and I was living it. You know, that's one thing we all noticed throughout the recording process is I was actually living out the project. I was a loose cannon, you know. So that's why I'm careful what I say and what I name, what I'm gonna name any future project, so I don't put myself into that mindset. Because you gotta really adapt to the mindset in the album what's gonna be fake. And I come from the era where I gotta be real with everything I do.
Damn, did Eminem ever have to come and bail you out before?
Man, let's just say M looked out for me, man. Like let's just say M
Damn.
looked out for me. And all you know, M knew what M knew what I was on. He wanted the best for me. He wanted me to really focus on the music because I had a real talent. I got a real talent. So um, he definitely guided me in the right direction.
I wanted to ask you about eventually getting your release from Shady Records. Was it 2012 when you got your release? How did you go about, distancing yourself or parting ways with Eminem?
Um, we just talked about it. I've been wanting to do it because I couldn't get a project out um, for a minute. So I looked at the landscape of how things was gonna go, and I just wanted to try it independent. Like I was getting I was getting taken care of. Let's just say I don't know how everybody else was, but I was being looked out for um with my situation with Shady Records. You get what I'm saying? So I didn't have to do anything and could have been cool. But as I said, I'm a man with pride. You know what I'm saying? I'm a boss, man. I'm a man with pride. I don't want to live off nobody. You know what I mean? Like me not releasing music, like but still making rap money just didn't make sense to me. You know what I mean? Like, and it felt like I'm living off somebody, and I can't do that. You know what I mean? I ain't done that since I was a short. Like, I always been hustling, I always been on what I've been on. So, um, I didn't feel comfortable playing that position, and I knew that M was getting himself back straight from personal things that was going on in his life, and I just didn't feel right. You know what I mean? And we had, I had hella conversations just looking for a way for me to either fly or fall. You know what I mean? Like, but I just wanted to try and see what I can do. And it wasn't no disrespect. It was never a disrespect thing. It was never nothing that was any animosity between any of us over there. It's always been love. You know what I'm saying? There'll never be nothing that's crazy. I just really wanted to see what was up with being a man and standing on my own too, and seeing how far I could go. You know what I mean? And learning the business from a different aspect. You know, because it's a clutch, not a clutch. It's a crutch. And me, I can always depend on the Shady name. Even today, I can still depend on what I've done for that brand. 'Cause you can't. Once you mention the Shady name, somewhere within that, you're gonna bring my name up because I kept us going for a while when nobody was dropping music from outside. Like I was dropping EP and mixtape after mixtape and mixtape after mixtape. I kept our name extremely relevant. And I kept niggas from fucking with us. Because niggas knew it was gonna be a problem. Not saying everybody's scared of me, shit like that. But niggas knew what I was gonna do. And I was showing it, I was proving it places I was going. And niggas saw I was a cool motherfucker. You come around me, I'm cool to see you. But everything I talk about, I'm really about that. I ain't loud. I ain't extra flashy except if I want to be. You know what I mean? But I ain't never loud. I'm always cool. But it's how you react. And I'm a reactor, like a for sure reactor. So I feel like you can't mention Shady Records and not mention Cashis. Like I don't have to be, I'm not 50. You know what I'm saying? Obi sold more records. You know what I mean? Proof was a legend. D12 sold more records. Everybody over there, but I'm gonna say, when you think of Shady Records, when you think of the Shady Gang, anybody say that, you can't say that without me. I made that. I'm the one that made it into that. Like, I was out here whooping niggas' ass behind talking about Shady Records and G-Unit. I was out here, like, for real. Like, and I had my squad with me. We was for real turning up. Like, so, and from a music standpoint, I got us respected in places where maybe they didn't listen to it like that. Cause I furthered the 50 aspect. You get what I'm saying? We got lyricists on the label. And Obi, a real street dude, and he a lyricist. You know what I mean? And 50 brought that real like street, like hustler, like I ain't playing that mentality and that image and that force. And you know what I mean? That's the lane I follow behind. Cause that's what I identify with. And I brought that and it made noise and it made people respect this shit was gonna happen behind Shady. Like they respected us. And that's what that was the most important thing for me. That's what I was there to do, was to bring respect and to set the tone behind what the two legends was doing. You know what I mean?
Not to mention, you turned down $1 million deal to work with Eminem.
Yeah. That shit's crazy.
Yeah, facts, man. You got a hell of a story, Cassius. But I appreciate you joining me today on the podcast, man. I look forward to speaking with you again, and I look forward to seeing everything that you do with your career in 2024.
Most definitely, bro, man. It's good. We definitely got to keep on working and hollering. We've been knowing each other a long time, bro. You
Oh,
know?
yeah. We on this shit now, man. We're back at it, man.
For sure, man. Smoke you one, man. I'm finna smoke me 2 or 3. You feel me?